Thank you for being a friend. Travel down the road and back again. Your heart is true. You're a pal and a confidant. And if you threw a party, you invited everyone you knew, you would see the biggest gift would be from me, and the card attached would say, thank you for being a friend. And if you threw a party, you invited everyone you knew, you would see the biggest gift would be from me, and the card attached would say, thank you for being a friend.
We're here to celebrate Debbie Rogers and Ginger Branch and what a wonderful life they've had and how they really helped our lives and brightened it up and brought us together in the joy-making world. They're both wonderful people, and they were friends. Besides Debbie starting the Beatty Bunch page, which what brought over 11,000 people together and also helped us find new jewelry artists and, being able to ask questions. Ginger also helped her with the page by covering it when Debbie was sick. And luckily, their friend Val took over it, so all Debbie's hard work in bringing us all together will never be lost. So I just want to bring in, we're going to start with Debbie, and then we'll go to Ginger. Unfortunately, we lost Debbie in the spring, and we lost Ginger, a little over a month ago. So just want to thank you and for celebrating them with us.
Tell me, what does it look like in heaven? Is it peaceful? Is it free like they say? Does the sun shine bright forever? Have your fears and your pain gone away? 'Cause here on earth it feels like everything good is missing since you left. And here on earth everything's different. There's an emptiness. Oh, I hope you're dancing in the sky, and I hope you're singing in the angels' choir, and I hope the angels know what they have. I bet it's so nice up in heaven since you arrived. So tell me, what do you do up in heaven? Are your days filled with love and light? Is there music? Is there art and adventure? Tell me, are you happy? Are you more alive? 'Cause here on earth it feels like everything good is missing since you left. And here on earth everything's different. There's an emptiness. Oh, I hope you're say.
Hi, I'm Valerie Tillman. Today, we celebrate the life of our dear Debbie Rogers. Back in the summer of 2011, there was an event called the JTV Workshop. A large group of us gathered in Knoxville, Tennessee from all over the country for 3 days of learning and laughing and jewelry making. We expanded our chosen family that day, including our dear Debbie. Debbie's obsession with beads started back in 2005. She made a colorful memory wire bracelet with dangling charms, and she called it the Jelly Bean Bracelet. Over the years, she expanded her talents with gemstones and metals as she became a member of the Blue Moon Beads design team in 2014. Debbie took her love of nature and gardening by blooming yet again in 2016. We'd had the opportunity to spend a little time at JTV, a group of us, just playing with new materials and having a great time and laughing and joking, as we always did. And we started this conversation about being the Beady Bunch. And so she took the ball and ran with that and created the Facebook group, The Beady Bunch. She founded a place for us to learn and support and encourage people to share their jewelry art creations. And based on her values of loving and lighting up people with no bullying or drama, she's given over 10,000 people a platform to keep jewelry making available all over the world. It was very fitting for Debbie to be born in Whittier, California, on April Fool's Day, no less, because she was just that. She was witty. Aside from beading, she adored writing. She would tell us of all of the stories about her life being a Girl Scout and in the Rose Bowl parade, and her favorite topic by far is all of her fur babies. She and her sister Leslie shared their home with many cats and many dogs, and they were all so loved. Debbie never married, but had many loves in her life, starting with pink. No offense, Julia Roberts, but it was her signature color first, long before yours and Steel Magnolias. Very strong and independent, she loved her family hard. She took care of her dad and her mom and swore that her life's mission was to be there to keep her sister safe, which she did. Little cousin Oliver came along, and she loved to babysit and spend as much time with him and her cousins as she possibly could. As we are coming up quickly on her most favorite holiday season, which is Christmas, I know that she would want for all of us to honor her by being a light for other people. It's not about the presents, but your presence. Her light went out in this lifetime on March 31st of this year. It was one day before her 70th birthday. Fly high, Debbie. We know that you have found other beady friends that left us before you. Just please save us a seat at the bead table when we get there. We love you.
Hi, I'm Susan.
And I'm Katie.
And we're just here remembering Debbie Rogers, who was an amazing part of Jewel School.
She was so sweet and welcoming, made me personally, and I'm sure you too, feel welcome into the family when we started about 5 or 6 years ago. And she was just an amazing woman.
She's so about the community too, and that was such a nice part of Debbie. She started something called the Beady Bunch, and I know a lot of you guys are members of it, and she's just so special. She always just made me want to reach out and just hug her. She was so welcoming and such a wonderful person. We just love her.
We love her too.
Remember
We're gonna
her
miss her
so fondly and miss her so much.
Yes.
I have a story about Debbie Rogers. Debbie Rogers and I were never very close. Of course, she was friends with all the same people I was, so we always went out to eat together and things like that. But when I really got impressed with Debbie was after Ann Leeson died. And Val was a sweetheart. Val said, why don't you fly to Atlanta and we'll go together, because, I had arranged with Ann to be on the same plane as her from Atlanta to Knoxville. So I knew that wasn't good. Val was so sweet. She said, you can't do that. You'll just sit there and cry the whole time, which I would have. So that's what I did. I went to Val's, and then we drove to Knoxville the next day. And Debbie came up to me in the lobby, and she goes, Ellen, I feel so sad. You're so sad. I could tell you're not yourself. And that's the first time I saw a passionate side to Debbie. Not that she didn't have it. Don't get me wrong, but it was the first time I saw a different side of Debbie. And from then on, we were closer because I felt that I saw a side of her that she acknowledged, because she saw the sad side of me, because I was usually happy, bubbly, happy-go-lucky. And so that's what I wanted to say about Debbie. And Debbie went through such hard times. We all miss her. And she's probably up there with Ginger having a good time. So God bless you and God bless Ginger. Bye-bye.
First of all, we want to say cheers.
Webbers.
Because, Webbers for life. Webbers. If you're watching, cheers. Cheers and cheers and cheers and cheers. Because life is all about cheers. And we know that Debbie would love for everybody cheers for this. And I think if anybody knows this, they know that Debbie would be cheersing right now.
I remember when we first had our show on JTV Extra, and I remember, I had no idea, anything about the Beatty Bunch. And Alicia was like, did you see that Debbie Rogers was watching our show? And I was like, who is Debbie Rogers? Remember, I did not know anything
I had
about
her
this.
just come on our show because
No.
I needed somebody.
No, I know, but she was watching. Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
I needed
some help.
She needed some help. She needed somebody.
I needed a lot of help.
She needed a co-host.
That's
and I didn't know
help.
anything about making jewelry or whatever. I don't even know
I
I
just
was even
needed somebody
invited.
to talk to.
I was just her best friend.
It was my
Comfort.
She's my therapy.
But anyway, so I just remember her being like, oh my gosh, Debbie Rogers was watching our show.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, who the heck is Debbie Rogers? So anyways, then she told me after the show, Debbie Rogers is the big wig of the Beatty Bunch. She is the celebrity of if anybody's watching the show, it needs to be Debbie Rogers, okay?
So she watched us.
So she watched us, and I was like, oh my gosh, Debbie Rogers is watching us. And
then we had the JTV experience.
Yeah.
And I was like, Peyton, you have to come and do this class with me. Just stand there. She's more of my, she doesn't know how to make jewelry, but she
still don't.
She is the person that can just, she's my hype man.
Flat nose or chain nose?
Flat nose.
Flat nose. All right. Wire.
Come on now.
Oh, gosh. It's like your straightener.
Yeah.
What do you call it?
Well, it's a nylon ply.
Nylon! Yes!
You can do a lot of things. Even in
That's your chain nose.
Those are the same ones, Peyton.
No, they're not. That one's skinnier.
Peyton, those are the same.
No, they're not.
Oh, Lord. Here we go.
These
They're
are
still
smaller.
flat.
Okay,
oh
flat
my
nose.
gosh.
They're flat nose. Okay, but anyways, continue what you were going to say about Debbie. Sorry.
What was I saying?
How amazing she was at the JTV experience.
Oh, so we walked out into the what do you call that place?
The atrium.
Atrium. And so certain people went up to Susan, because Susan's Susan, everybody knows Susan. And this one little lady walked up to me and she was like, oh my gosh, hi. And I was like, oh my gosh, somebody knows me. And it was Debbie.
Celebrity.
It was Debbie. She came up to both of us, and then she was in our class.
She was.
And I wasn't, I'm not a teacher. And you probably are like, oh my gosh, but you taught a show. But I'm really not. So I just kind of got sprung onto that. And she came on the little show, and it was just, she was amazing. She like took us in like we were her granddaughters.
I know,
really
her
feel
little
like she
girls.
was.
She just loved us.
And I do have a funny story.
Oh,
So,
funny.
that first JTV experience, we all went to Outback. I'm pretty sure. A bunch of us. And you know who you are. We went to Outback, and I don't know if I was married yet or I was about to get married. But
you were about to get married. She about stole your husband.
Yeah, Jason came too. And I remember when we were leaving, she grabbed Jason and just like
laid a hot one on
him. And he was like, oh. And she goes, those were the softest lips I've ever felt. Debbie,
Crazy.
we will see you again, and we will laugh a lot.
And we will cheers.
Cheers. And wubbers.
Wubbers to all. Good night.
Hello, precious community. I've been thinking a lot about how unique and special both Ginger and Debbie were and are, and their profound effect that they had on so many of us in so many different ways. I first met Debbie, gosh, it's been years and years ago. And I really didn't know what our connection was until she had shared with me that she was a viewer, a fan of the Aleene's Creative Living television show. And so she had been watching that show that I was on, and was fond of myself and Tiffany and Aleene and the rest of the crew. And she was just a really avid, committed crafter. And so it was fun to actually get to know somebody that enjoyed the program. And it was our friendship was on a whole different level. It evolved. In fact, Debbie actually met up with me one year at the big craft and hobby trade show. And I was trying to remember. I think it was the one in Anaheim. I'm pretty sure it was the Anaheim show. And it might have been the year that the Jewel Loom came out. Everything's kind of like coming to me in my mind. So, yeah. And just through the years, she was just such a great cheerleader, a great friend. You know, we would talk often. And I think when she got sick, I just I don't think I wanted to like really own it, like to really acknowledge that she was sick. And so I'm so grateful for her. I wish that we would have been able to see each other a little bit more, especially at the end there. But with her in Tennessee and me here in California, it was just a time period that just didn't allow that. And so I'm grateful again for Debbie. I'm grateful for all of the photos. It's so interesting how Ginger and Debbie were both in a couple of my photos. And so they, would be in my classes at Jewelry Television. And so I smile because, Ginger, you can't really be authentically sad, I guess I want to say, because you can't say her name and visualize her without giggling. She was just so funny. I'll never forget the first time at one of the JTV experiences, and Ginger just said something that was just so inappropriate, but so flippin' funny. And I was just like, oh my God, this woman is nuts, like in a great way, right? And so I love that. And I hope that we all can embrace Ginger and Debbie and remember the fun times and the laughter and the goofiness and the giggles and of course the creativity. When Ginger and Joan did the Jewel Loom how-to videos, and Joan told me that they were going to do that, I was like, oh God. Do we need to sign disclaimers? NDAs? Because all I could think of was, this is going to be off the charts hysterical. And it was. And it's really fun because, again, we have video and we have photos, and we've really been able to like document these friendships, right? I mean, we're so lucky that so many of us were able to do that. And I know a lot of people are hurting, and to lose two big powerhouse community members so close together, it's a lot. We're a tight-knit community of people who just truly love creating, and we tell stories through our creativity, and yeah, so it's been two very big losses for sure. And so I hope that you celebrate their lives, and you remember each one of them, each story that you had with each one of them, and that you just honor the time that you had with them on this earth, and be grateful for the time that you have. And pick those really great qualities that each one of them had, and spread that. And I think that's a really great way to honor somebody. And Ginger was flipping hysterical without any filter. And Debbie was extremely gracious and kind. And they both were. They just, they just navigated and owned the hallways of JTV. In fact, they should put their pictures in the hallways of JTV. I nominate that. So anyway, I'm hugging each and every one of you because I know that so many people just really were shocked and saddened, and especially our Jewel Loom concierge, Joan. I know that her heart really hurts. So I love you. And this is just a huge reminder to live life to its fullest. Do it all, do it now. And don't be afraid. So, do life. I love you.
Walks merrily down the street with the brim pulled way down low. Ain't no sound but the sound of his feet. Machine guns ready to go. Are you ready? Hey, are you ready for this? Are you hanging on the edge of your seat? Out of the doorway, the bullets rip to the sound of the beat. Yeah. Another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust. And another one gone. And another one gone. Another one bites the dust. Yeah. Hey, we're gonna get you too. Another one bites the dust. How do you think I'm gonna get along without you when you're gone? You took me for everything that I had and kicked me out of my own. Are you happy? Are you satisfied? How long can you stand the heat? Out of the doorway, the bullets rip to the sound of the beat. Look out! Another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust. And another one gone. And another one gone. Another one bites the dust. Hey, I'm gonna get you too. Another one bites the dust. Hey! Oh, take it! Another one bites the dust. Ow! Another one bites the dust. Hey, hey! Another one bites the dust. Hey! Plenty of ways that you can hurt a man and bring him to the ground. You can beat him, you can cheat him, you can treat him bad. You leave him when he's down. But I'm ready, yes, I'm ready for you. I'm standing on my own two feet. I'm a door where the bullets rip. Repeating at the time of big star. Another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust. And another one gone, another one gone, another one bites the dust. Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna get to do another one bites the dust. Shoot up. All right.
About 10 years ago, I think it was, when her friend died and our friend died, I figured that her and I would have a hard time going to Jewel School together without the people we were accustomed to. So I called her up and we got friendly, and I called her up a few more times and maybe a lot more, I don't even remember. And I said, let's go to Jewel School together, because I'm going to have a hard time without Ann and you're going to have a hard time without Candy. So Ann and Val and I used to pal around, so it ended up with Val, I, and Ginger. But that was the year Ginger's mom passed away. So she wasn't there very much. She would come have breakfast with us, and then we would pick up, I think, Val and I, and possibly Chris and Paula went and got her projects. And we would talk to Donna every day and, explain what was going on with her mom and so forth. So that's how we got friendly the first year. Then the second year, I asked her to come stay with me, and she just wanted to come every day. And then she stayed with you part way and part with me part way. And staying with someone, you really get to know a lot about them, as you know. And I was kind of modest and she wasn't. So that was kind of a funny thing between us. And the funniest thing, I think, everybody knows, I think, who knows me well, that I used to eat at night. And one night her Reese's were out, and I attacked them and I ate them. And she's like, woke up in the morning, where's my Reese's? And I said, well, Ginger, I ate them. I couldn't help it. She was like, oh my God, you stole my Reese's, and she made a big thing of it. And she even sent me for Valentine's Day one year an empty Reese's so I could sniff it. It was after I had given up my Reese's addiction. So I think the best thing I ever did was to call her and say, let's pal around for Jewel School. Because everybody got along so good with her, and everybody loved her, I loved her. And everybody has their own experiences with her, and she's been my guardian angel, I have to say, the last few years, and especially this year when Kenny got so sick. And I'll tell you, I think she's continued to be my guardian angel. A couple of things came up, I didn't know what to do, and the inspiration came to me. And I told her I wanted to see Kevin Costner once before I die. And wouldn't you know it, he's going to be in New York this weekend. And I said, Ginger, I don't know how you pulled it off, but he's right near me, but I can't go. So anyways, I'm sure she did her best to get me there. And she will always be in my heart. And I will think about her every single day. And I swore I wasn't going to cry, but I am. And I'm sure Wyatt's classes will never be the same without Ginger and I, or Ginger and you. And that's about it. Everybody has their special time with her. So I think the funniest was when we were trying to do my tens machine together, and she said, put it on, and she had to have it on her butt, and I had to have it on my butt, and she ended up rolling over on top of me, and I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Donna Burns loved that story. She laughed, and she'll still laugh, and I said, Ginger, what are you doing? And so anyways, I said, all right, I'll let you use it. And I went out to the girls in the lounge. Next thing we know, here comes Ginger walking down the hall at Best Western with the cords dangling between her legs. And she goes, how do you get this goddamn thing off me? Val was hysterical. I don't remember who took it off her. It might have been me, it might have been Val, but Val was hysterical. She said, only Ginger, only Ginger. So anyways, everyone loved Ginger, and I'm sure she's up there in heaven having a grand old time with her mom and with Shirley Jackson and with Candy and with Ann. They were all Spitfires, so I'm sure she's having a good time. And when I'm down and out, I think about her, and I think how she used to perk me up, and I get perked up. So, Ginger, you're my guardian angel. I'm going to miss you forever until I see you again. And I hope you ran across Cooper, because you never got to meet Cooper, and you would love him. Okay, bye-bye.
I'm Susan.
And I'm Katie.
And we are here remembering the awesome, the amazing, the crazy Ginger Branch.
Yes, we are.
And, what can you say about Ginger?
I mean, what can you not say? She was a force of nature.
She really was.
Yes.
Remember the first time I knew her for a long time before this, I'm sure, but the first time that she really I was like, oh my gosh, that's Ginger Branch, was when she did We Will Rock You, all the verses, she just kept going at the JTV experience. But we miss her already so much, and she was such an important part of Jewel School in our lives.
Yes,
really.
yes.
So,
We actually brought firecrackers
Yes.
to release because just, that's kind of who she is. She's loud and amazing.
Without asking for permission, she would do it. Yes.
Yeah. So and we asked permission, they wouldn't let us do it, but we have them. So we love her so much. We're gonna miss her, and we will remember her so much
Forever and ever.
Forever and ever.
Yes.
Hey, this is Ginger and Joan. We're pre-recording our finale because we're hungry and we want to go get something to eat.
Yeah.
So that's why it's still daylight.
And look here, I got a
New Year's
cake,
cake.
and it says Happy New Year with
Woo!
woo, woo. And then we got Jello shots. We got our onesies on.
Let's get back to her.
We got our onesies on. Oh my God, this is a Jello shot.
This is a solid Jello
Look
shot. I
here,
ate
you
some
can't
out
get-
of it. I ate some out of it. I licked it up.
Okay.
So, well, we got some fireworks for you.
Yeah, let's go. Can you see it? It's a fountain.
Ooh, look at the sparks. They can see the smoke.
Yeah.
You may want to cast this to your TV to get the full effect.
Yeah.
It's pretty. It's cute in a bunch of colors. So. Okay, wasn't that fun? Happy New Year's, everybody!
Yeah.
Happy New Year's!
Woo! There's another one.
Woo! Whoa! Whoa!
Woo! Ah!
Whoa!
Shoot, that thing stinks. Happy New Year, guys.
Happy New Year!
So, this one's for Ginger. This one's for Ginger. Weber's. Where's the bell? Oh my God, where is it? Wait. Looking for it.
Did it get left at JT?
No, it didn't. I thought you were. I bet
thought I
Charlie
got to
has
bring
it. Charlie probably has it.
Wait.
somewhere. Oh God.
Let's look.
Oh God.
Let's look. Hold on.
I feel like this is like a true do you have any organization? I brought the damn bell home. You all should see this place. But you know what they say?
you know what? I have 2 freaking kids.
Hold on a second. That's not even a thing. Creatives. And you know what? If you're watching, you're probably creative. You're a creative.
I am creative.
I'm a creative, but I feel like I like flirt with type A and type B. But you know what? Creative people are not supposed to be organized.
No, but I know exactly where. If you ask me,
except where's the bell?
That is a good question. That is a very good question.
She knows where everything is, but
I
not the
know.
bell.
If I didn't get
Hey,
back with
snap
that,
it back. We're back to Ginger. Ginger.
But Ginger needs the bell.
Okay.
Hold on. One second. 1 second. Look in that zebra thing.
Gosh, okay.
No, if I didn't get back from the bell from JTV, somebody would
What do
have
you
to
have in
steal
here? God. There's not a bell in here. But that equipment is heavy.
Gosh, what
Jewelry making is heavy business, you guys. Okay, so Ginger.
Well, I'm gonna make a bell. Okay, I'm gonna make a bell, and I'm gonna make it. Here we go. Ready? Lovers. Okay, so it's really hard to know somebody and then them be gone.
It is, and it's so hard to talk about somebody who had so much life
She was
to be gone.
Probably the funniest, and I don't want to just sound weird about saying it, but older person that was the funniest person to follow on social media. Because
sure.
every day I would wake up and I would go look at her Facebook to see what she'd post, because her and Joan would post the funniest stuff. And then I started following her, and she would do like all of the just like funny Instagram like trend things. There was this car video where, so you like get in the car, somebody drives the car slow, and someone videos the passenger and they like walk. You're just gonna have to go look at her Facebook. It was funny.
You know what I aspire to be? Me and you. Ginger and Joan.
That is something funny. I think. Who is Ginger and who is Joan? Well, I'll tell you.
Oh, are you Ginger?
I'm so Ginger. I'm so Ginger.
That's
Yeah.
probably true. Sorry, Joan.
No, Joan. Ginger talks Joan into what they're gonna do next.
Oh, okay.
And I think Joan would totally be like, yeah, you're pretty true on that. It's just so cool to think and look forward on life that this is a Ginger and Joan situation.
It is.
And I would hate to lose her.
Oh.
And I know this so hard for everybody, but I know Joan is that's like your like bestest friend, and
we're so sorry
Yes.
for your loss, and we're so sorry for the entire community's loss.
Yes.
Between both, Ginger and Debbie. So,
but we all know that one day when we get up there, we can all go and wubber it up, because
rubber it up in beady heaven.
Yes, because we're gonna all be there one day, and we're all gonna love each other. But we just need to remember all the awesome times that we've had together.
For sure.
Even if I'm sitting here with
Oh
my little
God! All right,
fupa.
get out of here. Bye.
My dear friend Ginger, what can I say? We're jewelry making best buddies. Whenever she wanted to make jewelry, that outside of a workshop or a class, she always reached out to me. But, we had a lot of fun times together. She would, which, I want to talk about, though, too, behind the scenes, besides a lot of people didn't know that, all that energy she had when she was in big crowds making us laugh, or all her energy. The last several years, she burned out pretty easily, and she would have to rest. In fact, I'd say the only time I never saw her rest was the first year I knew her. And like if we were at workshops or something, she'd go, I had to take a nap, please make sure nobody bothers me. And I knew she needed that rest. But once she was up again, she was full of energy again. So she was, she just loved being around people, especially like our jewelry making community or the gemstone workshops. In fact, there's a couple times, we went to Dollywood together where we had, we both had free passes, and she goes, let's give them to somebody. And then she would stand beside, we would stand to the side and watch people going in the ticket lines, and she would sense who needed it more. So that's, and, we met some really cool people that way. And like one was a mother and a son, an older son, like late 20s. The other son disappeared somewhere, but I guess obviously he had money, but these two were worried about spending their money at Dollywood, and we gave them the tickets, and they were so excited. And we said, well, now you have money for food and souvenirs and things like that too. So, it really made their day. The other was an older retirement couple. But speaking of Dollywood, that was one of the first things we did together. I actually gave her one of my guest passes after we knew each other about 3 months. And this is the funny part. Looking back on it, I had totally forgotten about this. We were talking, and all of a sudden she goes, you're going to think I'm so weird. I said, what? And she said, well, she goes, I have a secret to tell you, but you're just going to think I'm so weird. And this is the only time I've ever heard her say anything where she was worried about what somebody thought of her. And I said, well, what is that? I'm not going to think you're weird. And before you know this, I met Ginger like 3 months before. It was a Candy Cooper dinner with all these other wonderful ladies. So I called the P-Chat girls. A lot of them were the original Beatty Bunch. But, both Debbie and Ginger kept in contact with me so I can get into the next experience, sign up the same time they did. And so, but Ginger coming up to Knoxville a lot, we started getting together. And then this time, with her worried so much, I just couldn't believe it. I said, well, what? Why would you think be thinking of you so weird? She goes, I like watching eagle nests on the computer. I just burst out laughing. And I said, so do I. Any of you that know me knows how crazy I am about eagles and wildlife and other birds. And, she got so excited. And then we started finding other things that, we had in common besides jewelry making. And it was pretty wild. And then she's got to where she was like, if she wanted to do something, like one time she wanted to sign up for a class, and she turned around and she goes, Joan, you owe me $40. And I said, what for? And she goes, I signed us up for a class. Or, Joan, let's go to Brushy Mountain. That's an old closed down state penitentiary full of ghosts and things. And we went there twice, and we always planned on going again. But she just loved ghost hunting there. And then another time, it's just so crazy. I need to keep this short. But, she was crazy behind, but she was also smart. She was a bank auditor before she retired. And, we liked acting silly. We didn't like showing, that side of us. And we sit back and laugh when people talk about, oh, they can't do that. They must be a little idiot. And the things we said, I've been watching some of the videos that we've made together, and I can't believe some of the made up crap that came out of our mouths that people believed. But we would do anything just to laugh. So, and Ginger, I am so thankful we had those videos of you. I've been going back watching them, and I know I can always hear your voice and see you. But I know you're always with us in spirit whenever we get together, and we'll be remembering those good times. Thank you for being part of our lives.